Hello, hello. Today we are going to be doing something that I don't want to do. So I want to say a few years now, I keep getting tempted with the idea of sewing, and I don't want to necessarily learn how to sew. I feel like it's a very daunting hobby or skill to learn. It is expensive, it is time consuming, it is very structured and meticulous, which is stuff that I'm very bad at. I'm not good at structured things. I'm more of a cooking person than a baking person, in the sense that I do better with things where I can be a little flexible. A recipe may call for a tablespoon of salt, but I'll just throw in as much salt as I think is good, and it doesn't fully mess up the recipe. I mean, obviously if you put too much salt in it. Anyway, I'm I can eyeball things, they pour it in and go that looks like it's good, or pour in a little bit, taste it, pour in a little bit, versus baking, which is very much it needs to be 3/4 of a cup. And if you don't do 3/4 of a cup, the whole recipe is ruined. And yeah, I'm not good with that type of stuff. And sewing seems very much like that type of thing. Now, here's my other dilemma. My other dilemma is I have, without getting too much into it, because I don't know if anyone wants to hear my weird sob story about this type of stuff, but I am quote unquote officially plus size, in the sense that ever since COVID hit, 3 years ago now? Can I help you? He likes to hang out on my shoulder. Ever since COVID hit, I have gained a lot of weight. And I found that a lot of the clothes that I want either is not in my size anymore, is too expensive, or doesn't exist. For example, there are styles and stuff that I would love to wear. Currently I'm in a very pastoral, cottage core, coquette, running through the prairies, hanging out with sheep vibes. Very princessy, rococo, stuff like that, frilly bows stuff, but not Lolita version, something more historical inspired. But some of that stuff doesn't really exist for me, whether it just doesn't exist flat out, or it's not in my size, or it's super expensive. And so now I've gotten to the point where I'm well, I feel like I have to sew out of necessity. I have to learn how to make this stuff, because if I don't make it, then I'm not gonna have it. And I guess that's where I am now, is I'm reluctantly learning how to make things. All of that to say, essentially, I decided that the best project to do first is a caftan. Like this. A vintage caftan, or vintage inspired caftan. I feel like it's probably easy, because it's just a square, kind of, and it's very flowy. It shouldn't be hard. I feel like I should be able to get it done in a day or two. She in fact did not get it done in a day or two, and yes, it was hard. So I feel like that's the best option. So today we are going to make a caftan. I'm gonna go to Joann's, I'm gonna get the pattern. I know Simplicity has a caftan pattern that's from their 70s vault or whatever. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna make one, and hopefully it goes well, because it would be nice if I could make clothes for myself, I guess. Even though I really don't want to learn how to sew, I feel like I have to sew out of necessity right now. And that's just the way that it is. And I guess that's just how things go when you're in a recession. So yeah, come along with me while I do my first ever sewing project on a full figure human, aka me, instead of like a little doll like those, because I have sewn little clothes for them, but that's just like little, like, here's a rectangle and then I'm just gonna stitch it on her body, problem solved. And I can't really stitch clothes on my body, so I'm gonna stop procrastinating because I really don't want to learn. You don't understand how much I don't want to learn how to do this. And I really am like, I guess I have to do this. Like, I have to learn how to do this. No one's forcing me to. I'm forcing myself. I'm just not happy about it. Anyway, let's go make a caftan. He's so cute. Oh, my little baby. I have this one too. But he's just looking out the window because that's his favorite thing to do. Even when I'm holding him like this, he just looks out the window. Alright, let's go. Is anyone else like this? I don't know if it's an ADHD thing or not. It's like almost 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, it's 11 o'clock at night. What am I gonna do? I guess I could wind down, or I guess I could start sewing all of my stuff right now at 11 o'clock at night. Why don't I start a project right now at 11 o'clock at night and inevitably stay up till like 2 in the morning working on it, and then being tired in the morning the next day. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, alright, excuse me. Excuse me. Alright, excuse me. I'm trying to make a video. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, I got my pattern. Sir! Sir! Stay over here. I got my pattern. I got my fabric that I'm gonna use. I got my stuff. I have my... Can you... Let me make my video. Come here. I got my pattern. Thread. Fabric. Interfacing. Ribbon for the inside. Some snaps. A pencil to make marks. Yeah. I think that's everything I need. There's like 6 feet. No, yards. 6 yards here and then 1 yard here. Also, it's made a big mess already of just fluff, I guess. So at this point, I had to move into my living room and lay it all out because I did not have enough space in my office, especially because it was super cluttered in there. I kind of tornado all out in my office. Anyway, so I had to lay everything out. I was following, I guess they had this like chart example in the tutorial or the directions. I was just kind of confused a little bit, and then I like stretched it out because I realized that they were supposed to be folded before I laid everything down. Again, I've never sewn anything before, so all of this is like brand new to me. And also my dogs just were on top of it the whole time.
Been murdered, and that the cause of death had been a savage beating.
I have sewing questions because I've never done this before. I'm learning. Also, my dogs keep trying to like crawl all over the fabric and the patterns and everything. It's driving me nuts.
Oh yeah, dogs come for sewing.
At this point, I called Rachel to clarify a bunch of stuff because I was confused, and she was gracious enough to take on my constant calls during this whole process, so thank you very much, Rachel. So once she helped me clarify a few things, I got to pinning the pattern onto the fabric. Also, please excuse my dirty feet. I was walking outside with the dogs in the grass in the backyard. I can't wait to wear this caftan, but also sewing fucking sucks.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
But I've gotten to a point in like, I feel like my fashion life journey where I'm like, no one's making the things that I want.
Exactly.
And so, like, I guess I'll just have to fucking do it myself.
Yep. That should be the tagline for this video. Nobody makes my lunch, I guess I'll fucking do it myself.
Please enjoy this wonderful compilation of Diglett just getting in the way on purpose. I cut out all of the pieces and then got ready to sew and then realized that this was the most confusing thing I've ever done, and reading the directions that came with the pattern was like reading a completely different language, and I was super lost and stressed out, as you can tell. I ended up finding a tutorial on YouTube that I followed, and it was super helpful, but here's another compilation of me just looking upset and confused while I put this whole thing together. I'm doing it. I got the booby part done. Booby part. So obviously by my outfit change, you can tell that this was the next day. It took me about a week to put this all together, and that was like almost working on it for the whole day, every day, because I am brand new to this, so there was a lot of learning going on in this. I was able to finish the front part and the back part. Here I am pinning the like back strap thing, I don't know, that covers the elastic straps that I have. I ended up using elastic straps instead of ribbon because I have a few caftans, like vintage ones, that have elastic strips. They're more comfortable to me than ribbon because the ribbon can like come undone when you tie it. So I finished that. Doggy cuddles are the best cuddles when you are feeling stressed and you need to decompress a little bit. Also, if Diglett could live inside of my skin, he would. He loves to sleep on my shoulder, which is very cute, but also really hard when I need both of my hands. So I stuck his lower half in my dress to hold him there while I sewed my pieces together, and he seemed to not mind, and actually I think he kind of enjoyed it because he could just hang out and sleep on me whenever he wanted. Once I got my back piece completed. I have like the little neck fold thing. It was time to do the sleeves. I added an extra step for myself because I wanted to add this like fuzzy texture thing on the sleeves, and so I did that on each side. I kind of like laid the fabric inside the fluffy fabric like a taco, and I did that for both the back and the front. And then I just sewed the pieces together, the front and the back, and with that, my caftan was finally completed. And she's completed. I hated sewing, but I am very happy that I got a whole outfit out of it, which is very fun for me. I did end up wearing this like 4 days in a row because it was super comfy and super cute, and it was really cool to wear something that I made. So I guess I kind of get the hype on why people sew things, even though the process sucks. It was really fun to finally make something. Obviously, there are some glaring issues when you get close to it, but as long as people don't get too close, it's fine. No one will see it. But I kind of want to make another one now. There's a whole bunch of cute fabric that I've been eyeing, and I think it would be really fun to have like a caftan for every occasion. But yeah, let me know what you think. Do you also hate sewing as much as I do, or do you find it relaxing? Let me know in the comments below. And I will see you around. Have a good rest of your day and eat a popsicle because it's really hot outside. Okay, goodbye!